was not well. And Theranos got a very bad review and was basically told that they're putting people's lives in immediate jeopardy and that they needed to clean up their act in a couple of days, or else basically they would be...
For other low-poly armor cosplay, check out Martina's Instagram profile. She goes by the name Polygon Forge with nearly 77,000 followers. What do you think of these cool armor cosplays? We love it. Let us know in the comments down below.
So I've never drawn anything at all anime style before, so I'm actually a little bit nervous. But I've been watching lots of Dragon Ball Z clips to get animation ideas. I don't know how many days this will take me. I'm really hoping that I could do it within 2 to 3 weeks, maybe. I'm also doing full color. I totally forgot her mouth is supposed to be open. So I've got to go back and draw an open mouth on all these pages. Despite it kind of being out of order, I mean, you basically... The moment has arrived. And the grand total for drawing and coloring 35 work days over the course of 3 months and 100 hours of time-lapse footage. And the grand total page count is 658 pages. Whew. Should I see if I can flip it like this? Let's see if I can even hold it without dropping it. Okay, so I can actually hold it with one hand, precariously, but flipping it, not so much. Not a chance, in fact. So I'll break it up into chunks, I'll film each one, and then splice them together in the editing, and it should look pretty seamless. Before I flip this, thanks for watching me make it. This was a huge project, and I'm just grateful to have you all here, making it possible for me to do stuff like this. All right, hope you like it. Here goes. So I learned something interesting. Supposedly there's a flip book on the backs of these cards. So I got on eBay, found a box of these cards that have been unopened. These are from 1988. So we're going to open up this box, see what's inside, and see if we can hopefully find all the flip book cards for this set. These packs are not what I was expecting. They're kind of weird. It's like, it's not just cards. This is a fun pack. It says there's 1 sheet of tattoos, 3 picture cards, 1 sticker, 1 wiggle toy, and one activity card. The secret word is fun. Pee-wee's Playhouse was something that we used to watch like every Saturday morning, and we would quote it all the time. We'd be at school quoting and trying to do like our best best Pee Wee Herman voice.
There's all sorts of cool jokes you can make out of macaroni.
Part of the show was that he had the secret word of the day. Whenever someone said that secret word, everybody had to scream real loud. The secret word here is fun. Official Pee Wee brand. Topps Company, copyright 1988. So let's open these up and see if we can find ourselves a little flipbook animation and see what else is in here. Oh, I used to love these things. What are these things called? What else have we got? It's a puzzle. Whoa, what is that? This is a mask. I'm supposed to put this on. This does not make a lot of sense to me. Oh gosh, this is ridiculous. Well, anyway, there's the mask. This looks like a puzzle card. A cartoon a day keeps the doctor away. Ooh, look. There we go. There is. That is some flipbook animation right there. Playhouse Cinema, a double feature. Stack cards in order, hold in left hand, flip with right. So we've got a double feature. One flipbook animation there, and one flipbook animation there, and this is number 7. We'll start putting aside the flipbook cards, and hopefully we can collect all of those. Conky. Punch holes. Insert fingers for cherry, hold up to eyes for conky. Oh, my hands are too big. We can use pinkies, I guess. It's like a little puppet. No, I'm trapped. Okay. Hold up to eyes for conky. Ooh, those are cool looking. Oh, another flipbook frame. One more. There's only one flipbook frame in every pack. Well, you know what? There's 36 packs in this box, and I already know that there are at least 38 frames in this flipbook. So, guessing we won't get a totally complete flipbook, but we should be able to get pretty close, I hope. Pee-wee's Big Adventure is one of my all-time favorite movies. Penny! Have you guys ever seen Penny? There was this like stop-motion thing. I loved Penny. And Pennies for Eyes. There was this little stop-motion short cartoon. It was so good. I don't think we've got any doubles so far on the flipbook frame, so that's good. What? No! There's no flipbook frame. Hey, look, it's Morpheus. They did not make it super easy to get these cards. There's only one flipbook card per pack. Okay, we're still missing 19 cards. That's almost half of the animation that we're missing. I need more. I probably need like a few more boxes in order to complete this set. Okay, I found a few more boxes on eBay. We'll wait till those get here. I'll open those up, see if we can find all these missing cards to complete this flipbook, and then we'll watch through it and see what it looks like.
Several days later.
Let's go check the mailbox. Okay, well, let's hope that 5 more boxes is enough cards to complete this flipbook. Here we go. This is really fun. Ooh, Zombie, that's kind of a cool card. Ooh, number 1. All right, we're only missing 7 cards. Maybe I didn't need to buy 5 more boxes. 27. 6 more to go. 4, there's another one we needed. We're getting close to the end of the box. 16, there is another one. 10. And the last pack in this box. But did we get a flipbook card? Number 5, and we already had that one. Okay, we are still missing 1, 2, 3 cards. Should we check out Flying Randy? Let's open Box number 3. Kind of a satisfying sound, isn't it? The sound of just tearing these open. Lots of duplicates. Just to recap, we've been through 3 entire boxes and we're still missing 3 cards. This is a very difficult flip book to complete. So let's hope I can find the last 3 missing cards in these last 1 or 2 boxes. I think this one is a partial box. Yeah, this is not a full box of 36, I don't think. Let's see how many are in here. We've got 16 packs in this box. 23. There's one we're missing. 2 more to go. Little ASMR opening. 32. No, we already had that one too. Honestly, I thought buying 5 boxes of cards was going to be total overkill. I was just playing it safe, but now that it's like I'm nervous that I won't be able to get these last 2 cards. Already had number 6. We have 1 more pack in this box. And we already had number 30. Way harder than I thought it would be. It is still a little weird to open up these boxes that have been unopened for 32 years. And which one do we have? Number 30, duplicate. 15, not a duplicate. 1 card to go. We're just missing card number 34. Ooh, look, a new mask. It's a skull. That's pretty sweet. Oh, that kind of works. There we go. Now I'm a skull face. Duplicate. There's number 40 again. Unfortunately, it's a duplicate. What? No, that's it. I was like, I've been so used to saying duplicate, duplicate, duplicate. I just looked at this one and was like, nope, but it is. There it is, number 34. There is our missing card, number 34. All right, let's count through these and make sure I actually do have them all and didn't miss anything. 1, 2, 5, 6, 7, 40. There they are. All 40, finally. Should we take a look? All right, well, that was worth the wait. All right, and the other side. All right, so there it is, complete all 40 cards, the Pee-wee's Playhouse double feature flipbook. And it only took me, if I've done my math right, 156 packs to get all 40 of those cards. 156 packs. So, good thing I bought lots of cards. All right, thanks for watching, guys. Let me know what you think in the comments down below. Stay creative, and I'll see you in the next video. Now I got a mess to clean up.
Here we go. 3, 2, 1. Here we go. I'll hold the 1345. Hopefully I don't have any doubles. That's going to be very costly. Also with 1313. Speaking of pie, 1314. If there's a draw and it goes below and above, whoever underbid is going to get the win. All right, that's what I'll go with. It'll be like Price is Right rules, sort of. If the closest bit if the closest bet is over, then that person will win. If there are 2 that are within 1, then it'll go to the lower number, because that means they had more faith in my speed. Even though it's a guess, and I've shown them no run that was clearly good.
H. You got to put it together, Andy, and I can give it to you. 3 of us have 1345. Oh, shit. Okay, I'll be sure not to get 1345. 1236. Everyone here guesses the same number, and I fucking go bankrupt. Okay, I haven't gotten through this run since I started tonight.
Be honest, fellas.
Whoa, we did it. We did it. Somebody clip that, please. I couldn't have done that much better than what I did there. That's what I needed. But see, I'll probably beef it up later. I got this one. Oh, yep. Fuck me. There it goes. I'm only 4 seconds low. See, thank you, Rachel. I appreciate that. Woo. From one good run to a shitty one. Let's fucking go, Sashawn. I freaking try. If all the stars could align one time, I feel like I could get to that 10 minutes. I really do. I really feel like I could get to that 10 minutes. Someday we'll get there. $14.30. Don't be changing your guesses, guys. I'm gonna go by the first pile. When I check chat, it's gonna be like everyone's gonna be in the same kind of pile of times. I'll know if you double down. No double dipping. Sorry, the attitude will get you nowhere. Isaac has my second guess, so my final guess is 1508. You might be in the safe spot going high, I don't know. I'm sticking with 1425. I think that's a fair guess. It all depends on how the back half of this goes. The first world, I usually get pretty good. We got some rad blasts. Let's do it, guys. Let's go, let's go. Let's blast those thumbs one more time, guys. Let's keep those likes coming. If you haven't liked the stream yet, please do so. It really makes a difference. If you're really enjoying the content, then smash that little heart emote. Makes the world go round. That's what I needed. I need to get a higher jump there. Okay. I always screw that up. I screw that up almost every single time. That was an alright go. I've had worse. Don't get the clouds. I was destroyed by a tornado. Seriously? That's awful. Okay. I don't know what my time was the last time we were here, but I feel like we're doing better. Roll D20, 12 out of 20 to blow you a kiss. I'll think about it. That's what you get. You get a thoughtful kiss. Erica just became a freaking supporter. Thank you so much. I really, really appreciate that. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Everybody here, hashtag Erica, let's go. Shakti, thank you for the like. How you doing, buddy? Did I forget to grab it? Oh my god, I got distracted. Oh no. How much time did I just waste? Oh my god. I'm so happy that I got distracted with the supporter though. It's all good. It's all good. Yeah, let's spin it over here. I was doing so good. I can't believe I did that. I can't believe I did that. I got distracted. But it's amazing. Thank you so much. Everyone give a hell yeah to Erica. Let's go. Let's freaking go. Jesus, dude, I know. My chat is priority. I don't care what happens, all right, guys? That's why the betting is interesting. It makes the stream a little more interesting, just having those random occurrences of nonsense that piss you all off. Let's get a little insurance here to get through this part a little bit faster. Or I'll just somehow jump right through it, no problem. I've never done that before. Do you realize how perfect that jump had to be to have that happen? I missed my freaking run up. Hell yeah, let's go, let's go. Butt scratcher, says Adam. Butt scratcher? Back scratcher? Greetings from Tijuana, Mexico. Rome, what's going on? Don't kick the blocks after you. Yeah, I know. I did that once.
Makes no sense at all.
A pinpoint. You see, I do have perfection in me, guys. I'm capable of greatness. Most of the time I suck. R.I.P. egg roll, there you go. Now, a feather would be very nice to have on this part right here. But, whatever. We'll make it work. Derry, North Hampshire? Is that like Derry, like the scary movie or whatever? Aaron's dropping at 14:30. I don't know. It's going all right so far. It's going okay so far. The really thing that sucks is not having a cape in that one level. But it's honestly, it's only going to slow me down just a couple beats, so it's not the end of the world. I really... Nope. God damn it, I don't know why that happens. I'd be better off just eating them. Feel good about my 14-12. You should, because I'm slowly fucking falling apart as usual. North Hampshire. I got you. Okay, before we get too excited, I gotta go back because I gotta get fucking... Otherwise it's gonna script the rest of the run. Backtracking is never cool. It's good in all states. This is really important to have at least a big Mario at this point, so... Tis the priority. I think I'm out, says Curtis. Are you out, like, on time? It's still possible for me to do well. I don't know. Don't lose faith just yet. See how they sneak that in there? It's such shit. Where are we at? 9:44, man. It's close. It's so close, guys. You call 12:49? It's gonna be close. It's been a while since I got into Bowser under 10. It's been a while. I still feel like I should take my insurance route, but I do have a cape. Ah, fuck. Hemming and hawing here. That felt faster than 3, so we're okay. I'll have to remember that. Now don't get hit here, because this will script the whole run. Ah! Really? How did my count get so far off? I only counted that like a dozen times without issue. Let's go, let's go. 10:52. I'm hitting up, I swear to God. You done goofed, I know. 13:45 is looking pretty good, huh? Right after you said don't get hit. I know. It sucks. Teal, what's going on, guys? Blast those thumbs, let's go. I still have a pretty good shot at beating my all-time best as long as I don't die. I should actually time out this battle, like, all the way through, just so I know, like, the possibility. Like, what's actually possible. Alright, round 2, let's go. 14:25, here we go. Alright, give me that mushroom, now give me a little insurance. Uptime, 49 minutes, guys. Let's go, let's go. Woo! Take that Viagra. That's how I play before every stream. I take a blue chew and we get rocking. Keeps me on my toes. This is looking pretty good. I mean, come on. Get in your thing and go away. Get in your thing and go away. Let's go, let's go, let's go. This is so close to my freaking best. Let's go. Give me that personal best, please. Let's go. Thank you for that like, Matthew. How you doing? Alex, welcome in. Come on, come on. Spit it out. 5 seconds. I can't do this in 5 seconds. All right, guys. What do we got? What do we got? What do we got?
No. It's first.
That's a new personal best for me. That's a new personal best. And Decorin, thanks so much for the follow. That's a new personal best for me. That's not what I was hoping for, but man, that's... Woo! Man, if everything could just go well, can you guys imagine if everything just went well, how low I could get this? Oh, new peanut butter for me. We'll take it. Lee, thank you so much for those stars. I appreciate that, man. Thank you so much. Let's go. Oh, my God. Great job. Yes, 1250. If you didn't forget, personal best in the fish level. Nice. Thank you guys for the blast. Rome, right? Did Rome get it? I don't know did anybody claim the win? Is anybody claiming the win there for the cup?
Congratulations.
Holy shit, Chad.
The rare star donation voice.
Chad just dropped 1,000 freaking stars. Thank you so much, man. I appreciate that.
And if you say
For the PV, I appreciate that. I said 1336. I saw a couple 1345s, I think. I claim this is Marissa. I'm gonna check chat. What's going on, Punch? How you doing? Welcome back. Question of the night. What's the hardest Mario game you ever played? I'm about to play it, John. Believe it or not, I'm about to play it. Our very own mod made us a ROM hack, and it's literally the hardest Mario game I've ever played. Jerry says, I'll take the mug. I saw you guess like 3 times, Jerry. Chad at 1314. That's pretty damn close. 1306.66. Andy said 1303 after you finished.
Have to smack it and get it going. Hey, she got experience, my boy. She took one good whack to get him up. Went from gummy to dummy. Fuck you saying? It's really crazy because she just eating it though. So all the things you can need me a eater. For real. What's her number? Me. 7. You see, she took the money shot right on the face too. Oh my soul. She did. She's like, what? Oh my god. Jada Fox. That's how mine works. Jada Fox moments. What are you saying? And weed and re-rocking. Bag of Doritos. Okay, the Nerds ball. What's that? Weed and re-rocking it with the juice salad. Oh, he pearling it. Look like me back in '93. Oh my soul, but. Oh, what are you kicking for? Boy, you should have had a wristband. Oh my soul. You trying to kill roaches. Who that? Oh, that's my baby Maya. Boots on, I see. Sides with no sides. Oh, that. Oh, I did it. Maya. Maya, I know you did. I ain't even got it. Roxas 007? Damn, oh, headshot. Did you see that? Ooh, one to the head, now you know he dead. Oh. Fingers in his mouth. You got served? Ooh, wait, what? Damn. What's going on? Oh, man, he did a Cabbage Patch? Oh, man, he smacked him? Yeah, he spared that man's life. Wait, what was that? He bringing up groceries? Oh, okay. My son, he threw a Dragon Ball Z in the air and did a backflip. Oh, where'd he go? Weed. He teleported. Ooh. He turned to Spider-Man. My soul. What? Damn, he kicked off. You need a diaper change. That was over, man. I tell you, that's the Infamil. See the straightest. My soul. Oh, Gerber ain't get their money back. She was struggling. Y'all might as well get the Pampers and the diapers ready. That was a man fart. I know when I hear one. Oh, my soul. You gotta get them wipes from Walmart. Oh, my soul. I ain't gonna lie, that's how I be if I eat one of them beef and bean burritos. Oh, my soul. Taco Bell, overload. Chipotle. Oh, man. I ain't gonna lie, Chick-fil-A. Just like that. Chick-fil-A. I put so much cheese on my sandwiches, boy. You must need that lactose. You know, I'm lactose intolerant. I feel it. That boy be flipping. Boy, I be flipping.
Diary. I just effing killed someone. It was amazing. As soon as you get over the, oh my God, I can't do this feeling, it's pretty enjoyable. I'm kind of nervous and shaky though right now. Okay, I gotta go to church now. LOL. At 15 years old, Alyssa Bustamante's journal reads like a Stephen King novel. On the evening of Wednesday, October 21st, 2009, Patricia Price was surprised and annoyed to hear a knock on her front door. It was just before 5 o'clock, and she was busy making dinner. She could hear 9-year-old Elizabeth practicing her lines for a school musical. At the door was 6-year-old Emma Bustamante. She lived with her grandparents about 4 houses down, along with her twin brothers and her 15-year-old half-sister, Alyssa. On that night, she wanted Elizabeth to come out and play, and in St. Martin's, Missouri, population 1,000 plus, kids could safely play on the streets by themselves. Or so she thought. She was told to be back in the house for dinner by 6. Now, it was a promise Patricia knew the 4th grader would keep. By the time 6 o'clock rolled around with no sign of the 9-year-old, Patricia was starting to worry. It wasn't like her daughter not to keep a promise, and her cell phone was going straight to voicemail, and she wasn't at Emma's. Panic set in. Her heart was in her throat as she dialed 911. What could have happened to her little girl? Was she hurt? Had someone kidnapped her on her way home? The police were quick to respond. The first 72 hours are crucial in any missing persons case, and they didn't want to lose a second, especially not when a child was missing. The first stop was the Bustamante house. Emma was the last person to have seen Elizabeth, so she was questioned with her grandmother watching. She told the police they'd been playing in the driveway, and since they hadn't been inside, Emma's grandparents didn't even know Elizabeth had been there. A search party braved the elements but found nothing. Distraught and running out of time before this critical 72-hour window was up, the police decided to trace her phone signal. The signal was bouncing around the 60-acre wooded area behind the Bustamante house and the Olton home, the woods where Emma was afraid to go. When police tracked the signal, they found something strange. In the middle of the thickets and trees was a 3 by 5 foot rectangle hole. It appeared to be a small grave, and it was quickly filling up with rainwater. But before they could dig it up, Alyssa surprised detectives by admitting it was hers. When they asked her why she dug the hole, she said she just liked digging holes to bury dead animals in. Now, if she thought that was the kind of answer that would stop police from suspecting her, she was way off. They searched the Bustamante house and found a number of questionable things in her bedroom. At first glance, Alyssa's room looked like any other teenager's. It was messy. Clothes were in piles everywhere. There were wrappers, papers, random items strewn everywhere. But what really stuck out was her choice of decor. Vivid, disturbing poems were scribbled across the walls, some of them written in blood. And horrifyingly, there was a life-size drawing of a person with the name Emma written next to it. It was covered in slash marks. Alyssa had just become their best suspect. As she and her grandmother sat in the interrogation room, she was asked to walk the police through her day. Her voice was calm and collected when she said, "Okay, so I woke up and I got ready and my grandpa gave me a ride to school. I got home around 3, no 4, and I just hung out in my room for a while, and then I went for a walk. I was just walking around in the forest for a while, and I was supposed to take my little sister with me, but I ditched her because she's annoying. And I was just walking around in the forest. My brother and Emma later were asking about Elizabeth because she was supposed to be at home or something, and I didn't really think much of it. So we just went back to the house, and we started to get ready to go to church. And her brother came over, and he was banging on the door, and he's like, 'Do you know where Elizabeth is?' Because he couldn't find her. And that's when people were wondering what was going on. Where is she? So just listening to her talk so nonchalantly about her missing neighbor was disturbing enough. But it's nothing compared to what she wrote in her diary. Among her entries, she wrote about the urge to burn down a house with a family still inside. She jotted down thoughts like, if I don't talk about it, I bottle it up, and when I explode, someone is going to die. But the most horrifying entry of all was dated the day Elizabeth went missing. The entire entry, half a page long, had been scribbled over in blue pen, like to cover it up. The only readable sentence was the last few words. "I gotta go to church, LOL." What she didn't know was that police had the technology to easily read what she'd written underneath all those blue scribbles. And by technology, I mean they literally shone a flashlight underneath the paper and was able to read enough of it. "I just effing killed someone. I strangled them and slit their throat and stabbed them. Now they're dead. I don't know how to feel. It was amazing. As soon as you get over the, oh my God, I can't do this feeling, it's pretty enjoyable. I'm kind of nervous and shaky though right now. Okay, I gotta go to church now. LOL. 2 days after she went missing, Alyssa pointed out Elizabeth's body. She'd been buried in a shallow hole, also dug by Alyssa, and partially covered with leaves. When they asked her what happened, she tried saying it was an accident at first. We were messing around and she fell backwards and hit her head. And when they confronted her with the diary, she confessed. At that, her grandmother broke down screaming while her granddaughter just stared silently at her. So what did happen to Elizabeth that night? Well, based on the interrogation, the autopsy, and the forensics, the whole sordid story came out. Alyssa had been planning the murder for a while. She wanted to find out what it was like to kill someone. 5 days before she went through with it, she dug the graves. That night, she told her little sister to go and ask Elizabeth to play. On her way home, she lured her into the woods, saying she had a surprise for her. When the body was covered with leaves, she went home, got ready for church, and wrote about what she'd done in her diary. Is she a monster? How could a 15-year-old girl do something so cold-blooded and sick? To answer that, you need to get a closer look at Alyssa Bustamante. Her childhood is best described as terrible. Her mother was only 15 when she was born. When she was 8, her grandparents got custody of her and her brothers and sisters since her mother was dealing with addiction issues and her father was in prison for assault. But even though things were better at home now that she was living in a loving home with her grandparents, Alyssa found the new life difficult. Her mother would sometimes visit her, but her visits were short, and when she left, Alyssa would often be found crying in her bedroom. She made A's and B's in school. She had friends. She even had a boyfriend. Her grandparents were active in the Mormon church, and they made sure Alyssa and her siblings were part of that youth group. But you didn't have to look too closely to see the cracks in the facade that she was putting out there. For crying out loud, her YouTube and MySpace accounts listed her hobbies as killing people. Even though she was being treated for her issues, it wasn't enough. Not enough people took her cries for help seriously. Her friends, just teenagers themselves, thought she was kidding when she questioned what it would be like to kill someone, or when she talked about suicide or death. Even her boyfriend shrugged off her behavior as emo. It's impossible to pin her breaking point on just one thing. Her father was violent. Was this a case of nature versus nurture? Did her grandparents rescue her too late? Now, Elizabeth did get justice for her death, but the question still lingers. Why did Alyssa do it? Why Elizabeth? Were the two graves actually meant for her brothers? She was charged as an adult for first-degree murder. Originally, she pled not guilty. And for the entire year until her trial, she stuck by that. But suddenly, the day before her trial, she changed her plea to guilty so she could take a deal for the lesser charge of second-degree murder in armed criminal action. She's serving life in prison, but she'll be eligible for parole as early as 2027. Now, some people think she deserves a second chance since she was so young when she did it, but it's not clear how much psychiatric help she's been getting in jail. Certainly, America's prisons aren't known for rehabilitating messed-up juvenile killers like Alyssa. And at least one doctor believes she's exactly where she should be. There was their father, dressed in a red bra, eating what looked like poo out of a diaper. And when he found out that Dylan had something on him, he killed to keep his secret. It all started when Mark Redwine took his sons, Dylan and Corey, on a road trip to Cleveland in 2011. While their father slept in their shared hotel room, the boys locked themselves in the bathroom for a closer look at some pictures they discovered on his computer earlier. Now, if that's your thing, that's your thing. But Mark obviously never thought his sons would learn about his private. But 1 year after the boys stumbled across those private pictures, Dylan Redwine disappeared. He was reported missing on November 19th, 2012, less than 24 hours after he arrived at his dad's house in Durango, Colorado, for a court-ordered Thanksgiving visit. His parents were in the middle of a messy custody battle, and Dylan was team mom. The last thing he wanted to do was go see his dad, but he had no choice. The night before he left his mom's place near Colorado Springs, he had a sleepover with a couple of friends, and they still remember how much he wanted to get out of spending the holiday with his dad. They say that Dylan was afraid of the man, and with good reason. Mark was strict with a hair-trigger temper, but Dylan remembered that his brother Corey had taken some pictures of those photos, and he figured maybe he had a little leverage to work with. So about 4 months before he vanished, in August of 2012, he sent this text to his brother, quote, "Hey, send me those poop pics of Papa because he gave me a speech about you guys being a bad example, and I want to show him who he really is." But Corey, who was about 8 years older than his brother, he didn't send Dylan the pictures he asked for. Instead, he sent them to his dad. So the two of them, Corey and Mark, had been embroiled in a bitter argument since May of 2012. Corey and his girlfriend had been staying at his dad's house temporarily, but they ended up leaving sooner than they'd planned because, as he had said, the place was an awful mess and he hadn't spoken to his father in months because of it. So in August 2012, after Corey sent those pictures to his dad, they got into a heated text exchange about them, with Corey calling his dad, quote, nasty, and saying the photos were the nastiest things he'd ever seen. So his dad responded by asking him why he would want to hurt Dylan by having that kind of argument with him, and why would he want to continue to hurt Dylan, those kinds of things. Really more about Dylan being hurt than Corey, which is interesting when you think about what happened next. So we're going to fast forward to November 19th, 2012. It's 4:30 p.m. Dylan's mom, Elaine, gets a text from her ex, Mark, asking if Dylan was with her in Colorado Springs. Now, here's how mom responded. Quote, "It's really worrying when I'm 7 hours away and I get a message like this from you. I haven't heard from Dylan today. Where did you leave him or last see him?" 7 minutes later, she got her answer. Mark claimed he went to town that morning early, around 7:30 a.m., and Dylan was fine, but he was getting a little concerned because he hadn't heard from him. So obviously the word fine shouldn't have been included in a conversation about a missing son, and Elaine told him so. So when she asked if he'd reported it, Mark said he just left the marshal's office, but nothing could have been further from the truth. It took a phone call from her to learn that no report had ever been filed. So she and her husband, Dylan's stepfather, and her son Corey, jumped in a car, drove the 7 hours to Durango to find her son. The last time she'd seen Dylan was the day before, when he gave her a hug and boarded the plane. Surveillance video revealed that Mark and Dylan went to Walmart and McDonald's after he landed. Now, his mom texted him, a few times to make sure he'd gotten in okay, how things were going. But after 9:56 p.m. on November 18th, 2012, she never heard from him again. She wasn't the only one wondering what was going on. Now, you remember I said that Mark left the house at 7:30 and said Dylan was fine. Well, a friend of Dylan's was planning to meet up with him at 6:30 that morning, but Dylan never showed. So it would be a little less than a year before his partial remains were found off an ATV trail on a lonely road 8 miles from his father's house. Days before they came across the boy's remains, a few neighbors noticed that Mark was riding his ATV in that area. Those same neighbors pitched in to help look for the 13-year-old along with Elaine, Corey, and his stepfather. Mark was noticeably absent. Now, what could have been more important than finding his own son? Getting a good night's sleep, it seems. Rescue crews were stationed outside his house, combing the nearby woods late into the night looking for the boy. At a time when most people would have been out in the woods with a flashlight, a time when most people would know to leave the light on in case your child was lost in the woods, at 11 p.m., Mark's house went dark. Dylan was gone, said one investigator quoted in the Denver Post. So what could have happened to the boy just hours after he walked in the door for a visit with his father? Well, as they say, a picture is worth 1,000 words. And based on Mark's behavior after his son disappeared, he didn't want to hear even one word about those photos. He did have a few excuses to offer about his son's whereabouts. He figured maybe after only a few hours in his Maybe after only a few hours in his company, the boy might have tried hitchhiking back to his mom's house. Or maybe he went fishing. Dylan loved fishing. And what do you know, Mark said? His fishing pole was nowhere. His fishing pole was nowhere to be found. The boy's backpack, his cell phone, and his baseball hat were also gone. And to this day, they've never been found. 10 days after the boy went missing, police searched Mark's house. So with all those days to clean things up, there wasn't any obvious signs of a crime, and the house was pretty tidy. But he missed a few spots, 6 to be exact. First and foremost was the blood under the carpet. If blood had been deposited on the carpet and soaked through, the carpet should have given a positive reaction to the luminol, but it didn't. That says that carpet was purchased after the attack. The couch and love seat were dark brown leather. That made bloodstains very difficult to see, but it looked like it had been cleaned up. That's according to the lead detective, as quoted by 9 News. It wasn't centralized in one place. As the detective said, if stains were found in one area, that would indicate what they're calling a localized bloodletting event. But this indicates movement, since it was on various pieces of furniture and under a rug. So we can assume that Dylan was trying to escape his attacker. All in all, forensic evidence was found on the living room couch, the love seat cushions, the floor, under the rug, and on the coffee table. Now later, a cadaver dog picked up the scent of decomp around the house, near Mark's truck bed, near the washing machine, and on the clothes he was wearing when his son disappeared. Mark's then girlfriend tried to explain away the blood in the living room. So in her version of events, Dylan cut his finger in that room long before he disappeared. But with that much blood spread around, it would have been more believable if she said he cut his finger off. For his part, Mark appeared unconcerned and laid back, but his suspicious behavior did not go unnoticed. In December 2012, his oldest son flat out accused him of murdering his brother. He also had a tape recorder running, hoping Mark would say or do something he could get him put away for, but no dice. Although he wouldn't have long to wait before there was a break in the case. So in June 2013, a second search party was formed to comb that remote area around Middle Mountain. It was only a few miles from Mark's house, but the man himself was out of town on the job. He was working as a long-haul truck driver. And I wonder, do you think he knew what they would find? His son's partial remains, along with his shoe, a tattered White Sox t-shirt, the waistband from his underwear, and his headphones, were found on June 25th, 2013, in a remote area northwest of his house. On the same day his son's remains were identified, Mark texted his former wife, but his message wasn't the caring, how are you doing kind of message that you might expect. At the time, her best friend was ill from colon cancer, and Mark actually told Elaine that he hoped her BFF died and that she did too.
Wow.
So when a mutual acquaintance heard about that horrific text, she wasn't about to let it go. It just so happened that this woman was also fighting cancer, so she took it pretty personal, and she and another friend paid Mark a visit. And as you can probably imagine, she had a few choice words for him. And the conversation came to a boiling point when he brought up her cancer struggle, saying he would dance when she was dead. And that's when she brought up those photos. Clearly, this was an open secret by this point. God knows Mark did not want his becoming common knowledge, because when she brought it up, he picked up a log and flew into a rage. Now, sadly, the woman later lost her battle with cancer, but the friend that was with her that day testified with this statement, quote, I don't know if you've seen the cartoons where the eyes bulge out and all you can see is the whites of the eyes, but that's all I saw from him. It scared the out of me. So was that the last expression 13-year-old Dylan saw? About a month after his partial remains were found, his father said he found his son's fishing pole, the pole that had mysteriously been missing as long as his son was. That was the accessory to Mark's story about Dylan's whereabouts. So according to the Durango Herald, he found it behind a washing machine after he moved his ATV in the garage, even though the police had been asking him to find it for years since his child had disappeared. Now, right around that same time, Mark had a conversation with Dylan's half-brother about the possible cause of death. Let's just say blunt force trauma came up quite a few times. And he speculated that investigators would have to find the rest of his son's body, including the skull, before they could determine exactly how he died. Now, I'm jumping ahead a little bit here, but I do have to tell you that later, when they did find the skull, Mark started leaning heavily into the theory that a wild animal, like a mountain lion, had got to him. And then there was Mark's history of making threats. According to the woman he was married to before Dylan's death, he told her he'd killed the two kids that they had together before he let her take them in the divorce. He also told her if he did commit murder, he'd leave the body in the woods and let the animals get it. Then, in November 2015, hikers stumbled across Dylan's skull about a mile away from where his remains had been found 2 years earlier. Now, experts say that Mark moved his son's skull away from the rest of his body to make it harder for detectives to charge him with his murder. And he was right to be worried, because it revealed a lot more of the story. An autopsy found there was evidence of blunt force trauma, just like Mark had speculated to his other son. But also, on the boy's cheeks were 2 small markings made from a knife. Now, less than a year after that, someone tipped off the police that Mark was throwing a bunch of things away. And when they dug into the garbage, they found Dylan's school pictures. Pictures of Elaine, his mom, and an old driver's license. Oh, no one could accuse Mark of being sentimental. That's for sure. Now, when Mark was arrested in July 2017, it seemed like Dylan was finally gonna get justice. But not so fast. Trial number 1 was postponed in the fall of 2018. His court date was in September 2019. That was postponed after his attorney was arrested for assault and domestic violence. Insert lawyer joke here. Then in April and November 2020, it was disrupted because of the pandemic. So it wasn't until July 2021 that Mark was finally found guilty of second-degree murder for killing his son in a fit of rage after Dylan made fun of him about those photos.
What photos were they?
So his older brother, nobody liked the damn dad, yo, but
clearly, I see why.
By law, like, he had partial custody, so he had the right for his kids to come to his house. And the older brother digging through his dad's shit, found some pictures of his dad dressed kind of weird, eating shit out of a baby diaper. And he took pictures of the pictures. And
so he killed his son.
Well, the older brother told the younger son about it.
And the younger son said something, so he killed him.
And the younger son said it was his turn to go to dad's house for Thanksgiving. He didn't want to go, and he was like, man, this dude's just gonna go over there and treat me all trashy and shit. And so he asked the older brother, he was like, yo, send me them pictures of dad when he was doing that crazy shit. And instead of sending the pictures to the brother to send to dad, the older brother sent the pictures to dad himself. And they got an argument about that, like, why would you even tell your little brother about this, and da-da-da-da. And then when little brother went over there by himself, he was there for one fucking day and came up missing. After one day of chilling with the pops, yo. And then and that was 2012, and it took all the way until 2021 for this nigga to go to court over that shit, yo.
He's just been in jail all this time?
Nah, he's been out free, living his life.
See,
there wasn't no real evidence that he was a suspect, but they never.
But I'm just saying, if that was somebody else, I ain't even gonna take it there. You know what I'm gonna say? They would be in jail until they were proven not guilty.
Out of a nightmare. Sherry Coleman and her sons, 11-year-old Garrett and 9-year-old Gavin, were in their beds. Bright red ligature marks were still vivid on their necks. In the basement, a window was open. Throughout the house, messages were
that's all she does is tell, like, murder stories, yo. I was scrolling through Facebook for, like, a minute, and now, 58 minutes later, I've been fucking...
One of the little boys' bodies.
And I've never heard any of these stories, yo.
You have paid, punished, and you knew this was coming. What? Horrible stuff. Something like the Manson family would have done.
But, you know, she's kind of like the chick Bailey that does the music. I mean,
does the makeup while she tells the
murder mystery. I prefer Bailey, but her voice is better than Bailey.
I like her because she gets the old photos and everything, so you can see these motherfuckers.
Oh, Bailey does too.
He was a 22-year-old Marine. He was
Bailey
working
shows
as a
photos. She
canine
just
handler.
talks like this.
Across the doggy obstacle course. It was love at first sight. A few months later, she was pregnant with Garrett, and they made it official with a quickie wedding. 2 years later, their second son, Gavin, was born.
He must have killed his wife and both of his sons,
living just a short drive away from Chris's parents in Columbia, Illinois. His parents, Ron and Connie, were evangelical pastors, and Chris had grown up in the church. So it made sense for him to parlay his military training into a job as a personal bodyguard to an old family friend, Joyce Meyer. She's actually a popular televangelist, and she's the leader of an international Christian ministry. She was a close friend of his parents, and she'd known Chris since he was a kid. But in November of 2008, her bodyguard Chris became the target for a hate-filled email campaign. They talked about how Joyce's preaching was BS, and if he didn't stop working for her, his family would be wiped out while they slept. In early January of 2009, the threats got closer to home, literally. While he was on tour with Joyce Meyer in Hawaii, an ominous letter was delivered straight to his mailbox. It said, "Deny your God publicly or else. No more opportunities. Time is running out for you and your family." At the end of April, he got another one. It said in part, "I have warned you to stop traveling and to stop carrying on with this fake religious life of stealing people's money. You think you are so special to do what you do. Joyce Meyer, is a B word and not worth you doing it. Stop today or else. I know your schedule. You can't hide from me ever. I'm always watching. I know when you leave in the morning and I know when you stay home. This is my last warning. Your worst nightmare is about to happen. And the letter writer followed through. Police found the Coleman family's bodies in their beds on May 5th. So when they took a hard look at him, they saw fresh scratches on his hands and arms and his knuckle.
Is that Indian Bollywood shit, yo?
I pull her drape off. She gets hit by the car almost. He comes to rescue her. Just wait for it though.
Take my jacket off first. You got machetes.
Here, cover up, girl. Look at that. Watch, watch, watch. Psych.
The disrespect.
He like, I tried to save you, bro. I thought you were a woman. That shit fucked me up because I was not expecting that. Like, they just threw her shit off. They're chasing her. I'm like, that's definitely a girl. Motherfucker took the fucking wig off. I was like, oh my God. I really thought it was a woman.
No, it was a woman in the first scene. And
they had to have, because I'm like, there's no way.
In the second scene, it was a guy, and it's just like, we got you. Like, what the fuck, bro? That's how y'all...
Yeah, because she wasn't built like that. I'm like, that is a woman.
That's how y'all corner people, pretend to be a damsel in distress, because you know I'm a hero.
Come and rescue me. And all my brothers are going to beat you up after.
This on his hands and arms, and his knuckles looked red. And when they asked him about that, he punched the ambulance gurney repeatedly. He just happened to be sitting on it, and, well, there you go. There's a reason for his knuckles. And his gym bag held orange twine, the same thickness as the ligature marks on his family's necks.
This nigga is stupid, yo.
My new album called Fuck Lettuce.
This nigga is retarded.
If he don't sing this to you, he don't love you.
What's the nigga name is?
Mike Epps.
Mike Epps, yo. Damn.
You got him a young chick.
Yeah, you do. They just had a kid too, ain't it?
Another one. They got two.
Yeah, you do.
Plus all the other kids he already got.
Him and Idris got the young chicks.
Yeah, Idris chick is young, but I'm pretty sure this other chick is like...
Not could be his daughter. Not that young.
I mean, let's be technical. We can have kids when we're 15 or 16 years old.
This is true. If I'm 15 years older than you, I could be your damn parent, motherfucker.
I'm gonna shut up.
Exactly.
Idris Elba's 48 and Sabrina is 32. They got the same.
That's not too bad.
Of course you can say that.
He's 48?
Yeah, and she's 32.
I didn't think he'd be that old. He's almost 50. But ain't that 50-50.
Alright. Oh, you know what? I have to take it back.
What? How many years difference is that? Do the math for me.
16.
16 years difference.
That's 16 years. We're 15 and a half.
Anything under 20 is not. Anything under 20 is acceptable.
One, it's me and you. What if it was our child and our daughter brought home a dude that's 15 years older? We're gonna be like, get the fuck out of here. Say you wouldn't.
If she grown.
If she was 18 or 21.
That ain't grown yet.
You're not grown at 21. Now, she did it at 25. What am I gonna say?
Yeah.
You 25, but at 21, you gonna let our daughter bring home a dude that's about to be 40? Exactly.
Nigga, I'm not going to the motherfucker cookout with you, nigga.
That's what I'm saying. It's different for us, and my family knows I've always liked older men. But if it was my child, no. It's so different when we talk about us. Because you thought I was older and I thought you were younger. It was just like, we both knew we were old enough to drink. I could go to the clubs and the bars when you met me. That's kind of a rule too. Like, if it don't matter how old you are, if the person you're dealing with can't really go to the club or the bar, what you really doing with them? But it's a... Oh, she's 36 and he's 50. So that's not as bad.
Who?
Mike Epps.
Okay.
Oh, wait. This was posted in 2019. So we gotta add. It's not June yet. 2 years on. So yeah, he's 50 and she's 31. So that's 19 years actually. So yeah, that's like a 20-year difference. 48 and 29. That's almost 20 years. And he was married to his previous wife for 12 years. That's what's up. It's a long time. But damn, 20 years? God damn. She really could be his daughter. But once again, 50 and still got 2 fresh babies, so. But he's also a grandparent though. That's what's weird. Like, if you would have already had grandkids when we got together, there'd be no potential for us to ever have kids, because it's just like, why? So now our kid is older. I mean, our grandkid is older than our kid. You can stay up here this time. You be right. No, you staying up here. Come on. Fucking burn. It's not even clean.
As the ligature marks on his family's necks. And he had a receipt for red spray paint, the same kind of paint used to paint those horrible messages on his walls. Why would you keep those things with you? And then they found a glove with red spray paint on it tossed on the side of Interstate 255, the same road that Chris took to the gym that morning. And the big question, why would some nut target a woman's bodyguard, then eliminate his family, but leave him alone? After all, the letter writer did say that he knew when Chris was home and when he left, so why would he wait for him to drive away before carrying out his threat? Then there was the fact that Chris didn't even ask what happened to them. He didn't try to go upstairs where their bodies were. He just sat on the lawn, worked up some crocodile tears, and waited for his father to come over. He was the very picture of a prime suspect. And to make it worse, he waited 2 days to tell Sherry's family that she and the boys were gone. It takes a sick, sick person to take 3 innocent souls like that. The people around Chris didn't think he was capable of that, but Sherry sure did. From the outside, the Colemans came across as a beautiful, loving family. Sherry was a stay-at-home mom. Her sons were outgoing, budding athletes. They both played on the local football team. The close friends knew that the image they were putting out there was a facade. So Sherry was texting painful messages to friends. She said things like, Chris wants a divorce. He said, me and my kids are in the way of his job. And if something happens to me, Chris did it. Was she right? When police dug deeper, a picture of lies and betrayal started to form. They combed through his laptop, hoping to hunt down his mysterious stalker. And as it turned out, they did. The emails were coming from inside the house. Specifically, they were written on his work laptop, which could only be accessed with his work password. On November 14th, 2008, he set up a Gmail account with the address destroychris@gmail.com. He wasn't going for subtle. 20 minutes later, he sent himself the first of many mysterious threatening emails. The subject line of the first one read Houston death, because, he was going to be in Houston with Joyce Meyer. The next day, he sent another one. This one he named F you all. Except he didn't say F, he said the whole thing, because that's not very intimidating to just be like, F you. But anyway, it was sent to him, it was sent to Joyce, and Joyce's son. So what would make Chris do something like that? One word, and it obsessed with Sistress. In October of 2008, a month before he set up that new Gmail account, he started getting extra chummy with his wife's best friend from high school, a cocktail waitress in Florida by the name of Tara Lenz. He even gave her a promise ring. And what kind of promise did that piece of jewelry symbolize? The same kind of promise every man gives his mistress. He was going to leave his wife. The plan was to file for divorce in May. That's pretty specific, isn't it? May? And not just May, but May 5th, the day that they were found. So why would he put that kind of date out there all the way back in October, November? Because he needed time to build a foundation of fear with this letter writing campaign. And it was all carefully designed to lead police away from him, the most logical suspect, and toward an alternative, a mysterious letter writing fanatic with a grudge against his famous boss's bodyguard. Because, that happens. Tara registered on a wedding site. They were planning a January 2010 ceremony. They even had the name of their future child all picked out. Zoe, and she told them all about the cruise that Chris had booked for them to go to the Virgin Islands. The police later found out that he'd canceled his family's trip to Disney World not long before they were found in their beds. What they really needed from Chris was a confession. So they leaned on his faith with statements like, unless you really forgive yourself and you're sorry for what you did, and you tell us what you did, there's no way that you're going to go to heaven and see your kids and your family again when you die. You're going to go straight to hell. But he didn't seem too worried. He even sent Tara an affectionate text during his interrogation. Now, the only thing he was interested in saying to the cops was that he didn't do it. But he admitted it looked bad. He was being set up. So here's what he did tell Crime Watch Daily. I had 2 laptops, and I traveled with one and left the other one either at home or at the office. They were never both on me at the same time. And the one that was connected to the threats was the one that I left behind. So how did he explain his DNA under Sherry's nails? Especially after he insisted that she fell asleep, curled up in his arms the night before she was found. In the first few days after the tragedy, neighbors and strangers came to the Coleman house with flowers and stuffed animals, to put together a memorial in their yard. You know how people do. Well, Chris took it down. And then he packed up his family's things and put them on the curb to get rid of them. 2 weeks after their bodies were found, he was arrested and charged. Why didn't he just follow through on his plan to divorce Sherry? It's the question we all have. You don't need to kill these people. You can actually divorce them. The law is very clear on that. But prosecutors say that the reason why is because he was desperate to be with Tara, but he thought he would lose his job with Joyce Meyer if he got a divorce. And when they asked Joyce about that at trial, she said, no, we wouldn't have probably fired him if he got a divorce. What would have gotten him fired was the affair with Tara. Now, 2 years later, after 15 hours of deliberation, the jury made their decision. Guilty on all counts. And here's why it almost didn't happen. They almost voted or, agreed to let him go. But then they discovered that he was actually lying about his affair with Tara. He had said, and she had said, that they didn't start, seeing each other until November of 2008. But in actuality, they found some pictures that showed that they were really hanging out a month earlier than what they admitted to the police. And that is why they decided to convict, guilty on all counts. The jury was ready to give him the death penalty. Now, we can assume that Chris could sense the vibe in the room because he opted to let the judge sentence him instead of leaving it up to the jury. In Illinois, criminals have that choice. And honestly, a death sentence wouldn't mean much anyway. 2 months earlier, Illinois had put a moratorium on executions, and the judge opted mercy of sorts. Chris got life in prison without parole. At least this way, he'll have to sit in a cell and think about what he did every day for the rest of his life.
The biggest question of all was why a newlywed would want to kill the wife he called the girl of his dreams. Are you ready for this? She was 27 in the late spring of 2009 when she met her Prince Charming.
London, England. And you can find him on social media by the name @PhilippeMiranda_design on Instagram, with nearly 90,000 followers. And at Miniature Model Making on TikTok, with a massive audience of 1.7 million followers and growing by the day. Philippe has a great talent and is a master at creating miniature models. He makes miniature models of almost everything, starting from board games and marble bars to miniature bookshelves and Coca-Cola cans. His recent realistic mini skull has gathered nearly 188,000 views on TikTok. Great for working on the smallest parts of the model. Philippe works with a Dremel to save time because it's versatile and super easy to use. Finally, he glues the pieces together using different types of glue, like super glue in a gel form or Mod Podge for foam pieces. Philippe loves his boxes filled with random little objects that he has collected over the years that could potentially be used in his future sets. So, what did you think? Meet Jess and Jeff, a husband and wife woodworking team from Wisconsin, United States. The duo runs a small business named Two Moose Designs after their two dogs. They make custom furniture and can turn any idea into a functional design that will fit any interior design. Each piece is one of a kind, and every
Interesting. Rikishi extends the hand. And here comes Kayambala to the black and the white. And Bala. Oh, and then charging in, Kayambala. Big elbow. It's a big left from Kayambala. It looks like Rikishi struggling with one of his nasal transformations. And it comes up to the he's outside the hex. I'm not sure what he's looking at. Oh, and that was a big uppercut that missed Rikishi's on the shoulder. Something special. Let's take a look at it. Oh, the right went over. It was just a massive out. But you look.
He said, I love you. G.I. Jane too. Can't wait to see you. Yeah. Will, your goof ass laughed at first. You got checked by your bitch on site. Your bitch did this. Nigga, you's a goofy for that, nigga. You's a goofy, nigga. How in the fuck we live in a world? First of all, man, come on, man. Chris Rock, 155 pounds. He don't fight motherfuckers. Chris Rock ain't known for fighting motherfuckers. Will Smith, I know you a big nigga. I know you be with them goons. I know them goons from Philly. I don't mean no disrespect by telling the truth. Them goons from Philly, even if they mad at me, y'all motherfuckers need to make sure y'all man know what's up. He around a cankerous whore. I got that off that movie Tropical Thunder. Your wife's a cankerous whore. Hey, Will, remember way back when I said your wife was a cankerous whore? I didn't mean it, man. I didn't mean it. Nigga, what the fuck? Will, you are black acting. You came from motherfucking rapping to turning into one of the best actors I've seen. Of all time. What's that movie where he was on the island, stranded, and the monsters was out there? I Am Legend. Yeah, I Am Legend. Man, that man should have won an Oscar for I Am Legend. Yeah. Have you seen that movie? Yeah. Man, that motherfucker was raw in that movie. That's a bad idea. I read the book. I'm almost through it. I'm almost through the book. Hey, man, Will Smith suffers from being around an awful bitch. This bitch went on Oprah and said, you fuck her like a girl. Oh, I didn't even know you said that. What? You don't know all this shit. I know she been trying to... said, I don't love him. I know she been trying to give be like Tupac his whole life. This nigga is chasing a dead man's swag. Yeah. What the fuck? You think that ain't what happened? That's what happened at the motherfucking Oscars. If you went... Look, let me tell you something, man. Like I bragged about. This is what I bragged about. I went to Savior's Day. Mm-hmm. And when I went to Savior's Day, the women are sat on the separate side of the men. Right. I don't know but one woman in my world that could have handled that the way it's supposed to be handled. Right. Every other bitch would have had an attitude. Yeah. That's why I don't be with bitches all the time. Like, when I be with bitches, sometimes you can see it in my eye. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. I'm not finna go to the award show with no bitch I ain't got no control of. Nigga, that bitch was smiling when he was up there crying, apologizing. Yeah. When he was up there crying, apologizing, that bitch said. That was her happiest moment, that shit. They was watching you expose the family like they already say what's up. Man, that bitch set them motherfuckers out. You set yourself out, you open for ridicule. So, motherfucking people who getting mad about the shit. I mean, like, it was a whole bunch of women talking about he ain't had no business saying nothing about no black woman. But let me tell you something. If I'm bold enough to say this, goddammit, this shit gonna make everybody mad. But I don't give a fuck. It's the motherfucking truth. There's so many bottom of the line bitches out here in the game that be on motherfucking social media. These are bottom of the line bitches. Deshaun Watson fucked his career fucking with them bottom of the line internet bitches that's talking shit about, oh, he ain't had no business disrespecting a black woman. Bitch, you disrespect yourself. Go through your page, bitch. You ain't worth a shit. Go through your whole page and tell me you about something. You ain't shit. Niggas fuck you and get ghosts. That's why you bitter. I'm not saying it's right. I'm just saying, all these ain't shit bitches. Nigga, you don't get the fuck out of here. Of course a bitch gonna say, you ain't got no business disrespecting no black woman. Bitch, look, all day long, bitch, you had me at your house with your kids, and I ain't know you but a week. I bought you some fake Yeezys, bitch. You get down for that. So all the bitches who talking shit about disrespecting a black woman, man, motherfucker said it right there, Jada belongs to the street. No, he'll be here in a little bit. I hate to see Will tell you something, little bro. Yeah. And this goes for everybody out there who's an entertainer, not just a comedian. If somebody come on stage, you in danger. Do not take it lightly. I don't give a fuck who it is. Don't freeze. Don't do like Chris did. Chris, I commend you, brother. You handled that shit the right way. Because you was hosting the racist-ass Oscars. I don't know, though, Cole. Because Chris handled the shit the right way. He ain't finna do what you finna do. I mean, he could at least move. He stood there like, wow, God, he ain't about that life. Face that motherfucker. He ain't about that life. Yeah. This thing's on the internet to show Chris Rock ain't about that life. Chris Rock ain't that motherfucker who finna motherfucking take off on you. Yeah. He's just not that kind of man. That's why he got slapped. That ain't no diss though. We don't know who to slap. Will Smith come to my show. You think Will Smith walk on the stage? I'm not finna be like, oh shit, what's up, nigga? I'm in the stands, nigga. Nigga, if a nigga I can't walk on the stage, he not finna slap me. Yeah. Even if he win the fight, I'm not finna sit there like, yeah, man. You come on the stage with me, my life is in danger. And any entertainer out there, if motherfuckers come on the stage, I don't care if it's a bitch twerking, kick that bitch off the stage. My life in danger. You standing next to me and I don't know you. Fuck away from me, man. My nigga Avion Crockett had a motherfucking Karen run up on stage in motherfucking Florida. Yeah. Avion Crockett, a good man. Avion did the best to play it off and be good. I'm just saying, man, sometimes it's a stubbornness in me where I be like, man, I ain't finna move. But then sometimes I do move. Because I really want peace. Right. But Chris walking up, James, that man walking up there slapping that man, you could never make an excuse for that, dog. Niggas gonna gag on your bitch, especially if your bitch bald head. I don't give a fuck what it is. I don't give a fuck what it is. You sitting there with a bald head bitch, green dress, acting like she wrong, she above being talked about. You are disillusioned, nigga. Niggas gonna be at her. Yeah. Show up with a bald head bitch somewhere. See, motherfuckers be like, ooh, your head look good like that. Don't matter. You got the Iron Man face from the surgery. This nigga went to motherfucking the Oscars with a black Iron Man. I don't know. No. We don't know that's a woman. Shit, kids, nigga. I ain't see the kids come out. What? What, nigga? We motherfucker, these niggas out here fucking bitches and niggas and think that they motherfucking not finna get ridiculed. If you fucking niggas and bitches, niggas gonna talk about you. There's a man who played for the Memphis Grizzlies. We all just found out he like dating niggas who dress like girls. They call him transgender, whatever. I forgot that nigga who played for the Memphis Grizzlies. Nigga who played for the Memphis Grizzlies, came from the University of Oregon. The light-skinned nigga. He fucked niggas who dress like girls. You know somebody gonna say something about that shit? Somebody say, Tin Man face that. You crazy little motherfucker if you think ain't nobody finna say nothing about your bitch and she bald head up front. What you sitting up front from? Do you feel like she was... Somebody say every black bitch I know got alopecia. Do you feel like she feel like his career overshadowed hers, so she kind of outshine him and shit? And man, Will Smith a megastar. Yeah. He's a megastar. I don't believe he's a bad guy. I just believe he's a victim of a toxic bitch in his life. Yeah. And somebody who is his homeboy need to wait, pull his coattail. Even if you mad at me, nigga, that bitch destroying that nigga. That bitch, you see that bitch on the internet following him around with that phone around the house? What? Do something, motherfucker. Hey. No, she didn't do that. I don't know nothing about Jada. Jada the rottenest bitch in the game. Jada the rottenest bitch in the game, man. Yeah, because she kind of control. I've been reading the book and shit. She kind of controlled the relationship. Y'all motherfuckers don't know what Jada done did, man. Y'all motherfuckers just know the surface shit. Yeah. That motherfucker That's a rotten bitch.
Cause I think the whole open relationship shit, that shit was her idea. I think that was her.
Open relationship? God damn it, Will Smith. Motherfucking high. Let's just say it. Will Smith, about 6'2", stay in shape, done movies with stars where he the leading actor. Oh, do you know when you the leading actor, you fuck all the bitches? Now, I ain't finna name drop.
Yeah, a lot of #1 movies.
And he was fucking them bitches. Trust me.
Yeah.
He the big fish.
Yeah.
This Will motherfucker Smith. This the big fish. He fucked.
Somebody said his life partner, Dwayne Martinez.
The Spanish bitch? I don't know if Dwayne Martinez is white. Is his, I said white. Is his life partner, but I tell you this, Dwayne Martin is a motherfucking man. And he carries himself like a man. If you ever met him, you would like him. Dwayne Martin is a motherfucker. Cool. A man. Now, I don't know what the fuck going on.
Yeah.
I can't say it for sure, because I don't know for sure.
Yeah.
But I'm talking about, you see what Jada does. If you really research this woman, you see, oh, this so wicked.
Yeah.
Who gave him weirdo kids? Nobody want to say this shit. Have you seen this nigga family?
All right.